Hey everybody, it's Brittany Hiller here, your go-to goddess of all things yoga, meditation, as well as possibility coaching. Today I'm going to share with you a story that's true, near and dear to my heart, a story of myself, and I'm going to speak with you candidly, so this isn't going to be some sort of professional business thing. I just recently, with the light of accounts of everything that is going on, the Me Too project, the survivor stories, everything that's happening within the States right now, I want to share with you my story, and I want to start a conversation around the hot button topic of abortion, right? So the hot button topic of abortion seems to be what people utilize politically nowadays to sway things. And I want to open up the conversation of adoption. Why don't we talk about adoption? Why isn't that something that is being pushed or even being talked about or understood that it is a beautiful gift? Why instead are we pushing the abortion topic all the time instead of pushing adoption opportunities and options? How many of my friends out there have been in a situation quite similar to what I'm about to share with you, where you felt stuck and the only option for you was abortion? You had no idea. You were in a bad relationship. You were raped. You were even more terrible things, or you had some sort of medical emergency within you, and there was no other option, right? So I'm sharing this today very vulnerably because back when I was 25 years old, I was raped. It was a date rape, and I knew the person, and I ended up 3 months after the occurrence realizing that I was pregnant. And realizing I was pregnant, I went through a litany of ideas, of choices, of conversations with friends, of things that had me from my past just embedded in me to think that I couldn't choose abortion. So what I thought in my head was, God's going to take care of this. God's going to take care of this. And God did take care of it by not taking care of it. So in my head, I was detached completely from my body. I ended up meeting my husband 3 months into my pregnancy. I had no idea that this man was going to change my life forever, which is another topic where we meet people during times that we are at our worst sometimes and not even realizing it. And I was at my worst. I was lost. I was alone feeling because I didn't want to share this with anyone, feeling ashamed. So for all of those people who are out there thinking, people with these Me Too stories, why didn't they come out ahead of time? Why didn't they tell anybody? Why didn't they talk? Because for myself personally, I was in a place where I felt ashamed. I felt alone. I felt, again, detached. I felt as if it never happened, and I felt as if what was happening within my body was not real. I felt like I was going to wake up and everything was going to be back to normal. But it didn't, and it wasn't. And I'm okay with that, because what happened was growth from it. So my conversation today is to share with you about my experience of being a birth mom. I am a birth mom. And there are tons of birth moms out there, and we are quiet. For some reason, I don't know why, because this is a gift. This is a gift. We are taught so often that being a birth mom is you gave up your child. How dare you? I'm sorry. First of all, you weren't in the situation that I was in. Second of all, I was not ready. Third of all, I didn't ask for this. And so I had that moment during that 9 months of pregnancy where people would talk about me. They would turn their back to me. This is very emotional. They did so many things that I was like, you just talk to me as a person. Just come up to me and say, hey, Brittany, how are you doing? And nobody would do that, except for my husband. So I want to share with you guys today about this because it's raw. And there are so many other people out there who are going through the same thing that I went through. And you think, sometimes you think, I don't know, maybe the logic is out there that people who are pregnant asked for it to happen. And so maybe that's why people want to just get rid of it so quickly, so they don't have to have the story. And so they don't have to talk about it. And they don't have to live it for the rest of their life. But I'm going to tell you something a little different. I love talking about it. I know I'm crying right now, but I do. I love talking about this because it inspires other people who are in the boat that I was in to take action and to understand that when I chose adoption, I was lost, honestly, you guys, for 5 months. I was lying to my now husband, saying I was not pregnant. I had people ask me all the time, and I would use the excuse, it's a beer gut. I'm not pregnant. It's a beer gut. Stop asking me these questions. Why are you asking me these questions? You know, so I was living in that world of detachment completely from my body. And what happened was, I learned something really awesome. And that was the moment that I came out, because I couldn't hold it anymore. She grew huge. And the moment that I came out, I was 7 months pregnant. And my mother found out because she felt my stomach, because she was fixing a bow on my dress. And she said to me, first of all, she thought it was my now husband. I said, no, I don't want to talk about it right now. Because I never wanted to talk about it, because in my head, it didn't exist. This wasn't happening to me. I'm a perfectly healthy being. There's nothing going on. There's no pregnancy occurring. And yet, she took me and sat me down, thankfully, thank you, Mom, and talked to me, and we discussed what occurred. And I can only imagine how she felt. And because when you share that story with someone and they love you so much, all they want to do is help you, support you, stand up for you, and be your rock. And so I shared with her, then I shared with my now husband, and then I shared with friends. And the more that I shared, the more that my belly grew, because the more that I could feel alive and open and more aware and more awake. And so did the baby inside me. It just grew. And what happened was that I learned quickly, after telling my sister, she gave me the choice. She said, Brittany, what about adoption? And I said, yeah, I guess this baby's coming out of me. I'm going to need to have some options. So what happened was a celebration, beyond celebrations, you guys. I had family. I had friends. I had the new family as my new family that showed up on the day of this baby's birth. And it was a celebration unlike any other. And so that's why I say to you, adoption is a gift. It is not a giveaway. I gifted this baby to someone who loves and appreciates and enjoys and teaches and does so much good for this baby. And I mean, I could have done that, sure, but it wouldn't have been to the extent that the baby now receives. So this was back in 2008, my experience. And again, we never know people's stories and what they're going through during that time. Because for myself personally, it was very difficult to talk about. Because for myself personally, it wasn't happening to me. Nothing happened. In my head, I was completely detached. But the moment that I gave birth, which was due to an elective C-section, because I decided I didn't want to feel the pains of birth, I didn't want to have the oxytocin release because I didn't want that connection. I wanted to make this transition even easier for me physically and emotionally, and it did. And I'm very grateful for everybody involved in that who gave me the opportunity to have that choice. Our choices, you guys, are one of our biggest superpowers. My choice was adoption. My choice was adoption most importantly because when I made that choice that maybe I was going to abort, I was 20 plus weeks along, and I saw what happens during an abortion like that. And I didn't want to be a part of that because the baby's already fully developed and there are limbs involved. So I made the choice of adoption because I had that choice of adoption. And I'm so grateful that I do, and I'm so grateful that I did. And for my friends out there who didn't have that choice, I love you and I understand your story. And your story is just as powerful as my story, and I think you should share it. Because the more that we share our stories, the more that we can make change in this world. You guys, this is the only way that we make change, is by sharing our stories. Getting other people around us who understand because they've been there, because they get it, because they've been in your shoes, or they're going to be in your shoes, and they don't have an idea of what to do. I had no idea what to do. No idea. And so what happened was, when it needed to happen, my idea came to me. Thank you, sister, for giving me the light, saying I'll help you, and for helping me. I'm grateful to you. For every single person out there who knows my story, who has been in your own troubling situations, again, I'm here. I love you. I understand. But what happens right now with this bickering back and forth of who's right and who's wrong, we need to stop that. Because that makes no change. All it does is muddle the situation, and all it does is create more pain. More pain for the people out there like myself who have lived it and who know how it feels to have to describe to somebody what happened. Do you know how hard that is? I do. It's not easy. And I really don't think somebody would choose to do that for money. I don't believe people would choose to do that to tell their story in detail because of some other ulterior motive. No, not like that. So my conversation today is, let's open the discussion of adoption. And let's stop bringing all of the awareness and attention to abortion. Because what happens is, where attention goes, energy flows, my friends. So the more we fight against abortion, the less people understand the option of adoption. And the less families get to receive a beautiful gift of a child that they otherwise wouldn't be able to because of their own personal situations. So, thank you for listening. If this touched you, feel free to share it. You're open to. I'm vulnerable and ready to get the new conversation out there that adoption is a choice, an option, and an opportunity. And physically, for my body, it was the best choice because at the time, I know that doing this is what helped. I know that doing this is what helped. And I'm really sorry for all of you who didn't have that choice. I feel you. And again, I hug you and I love you. And I know you. And I know you hear me. And this is not me saying anything at all being for or against abortion. Instead, I just really am a true advocate for adoption, and I want to create that new story, that new idea that adoption is a choice that we need to talk about more and more. We need to look at it as a gift I said it before, I'll say it again. It's a gift, my friends. It is not a give up. But unfortunately, people are sent off to camps to have adoption situations occurred. They're shunned. They're told that they can't talk about it ever. Years and years and years have gone by where people are held in this idea that you can't speak about it. And if their child comes forward that they birthed, they don't want to talk to them. That's not my situation. Whenever the child that I birthed decides to come forward, I will definitely, with open arms, give the biggest hug that I possibly can. Because that child is a gift. And what I did was gift a family. So let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about that. Let's bring that into the forefront of our conversations. Adoption is an option. Google adoption. Look up families who need babies. Be an advocate for that. Let's spread that news and that awareness, because I'm tired of the bickering and I'm tired of the back and forth of the conversation. I'm tired of political decisions based on abortion. That's what I'm really tired of. We need to really talk about adoption. Adoption is the option. Let's get it out there. Let's spread the word. Let people educate themselves on what the process actually is. For people who, birth moms like myself, when you're going through an adoption and you have a family who is on board with you, they will help you. They will provide for you. They will give you what you need during your pregnancy. This is so true, because what happens is you are raising their future baby within you. You are a portal, basically, for their gift. That's what you are for. And they're there for you through the whole way. It is truly an honor and a gift. Let's share the message. Thank you for listening, my friends. I love you all. Thank you for holding space during this vulnerable time. We'll talk to you soon. And if you have any questions about this, you want to share your story with me, please email me. I am an open book and I will talk to you. hello@brittanyhilleryoga.com. I love you guys.